those that are sharing the results of the polling stations. So they are the ones that showed it. And instead, the internet is shut down, and they are being hunted, arrested, tortured. So definitely, I hope he will have. It's great that he has now shown he's put it into the light, and I think that's now most crucial, that the abuses which are ongoing in Uganda, that they're brought to light and they're brought to the international media, so they become aware of what is the silent genocide which is happening in Uganda.
Yes, and we are also encouraging Ugandans to do the same. So with Leons at Task International, obviously they've been writing letters to the State Department for a very long time. I myself have worked in close contact with them, including Dr. Nico, and I believe you, Eric Vanda. But instead of just tweeting and just writing letters, they are taking a much more aggressive and assertive direction, whereby they're actually recording a video about this. And we, the Ugandans, we can do the same exact thing in order to expose these human rights violations that are taking place in Uganda today. Edward Abili, thank you very much for joining us today.
A pleasure.
Perfect. Edward Abili is the coordinator for the National Unity Platform in Texas. Edward, what do you think about the situation in Uganda at the moment?
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, Eric. It's a great pleasure to be with you in this show. Definitely, the situation in Uganda is absolutely very disturbing. We see police brutalize, the police and the military brutalize citizens. They're arresting citizens randomly. Anyone that is suspected of being an NUP member is arrested and detained. Unfortunately, some are even killed. So the situation is alarming and disturbing. We have also seen the National Unity Platform President, President-elect, Honorable Bobi Wine, or who is known actually as Robert Chagulanyi. He's detained at his place. He cannot get out. He cannot access the media. He cannot access the outside world after winning an election. This is the situation that Uganda has retarded to. And to my dismay, the world is quiet. We live in a global village. I particularly got disturbed by the head of the the head of the European Union when he came out and mentioned that elections in Uganda were calm and everything went well. This is very disturbing. This shows you that some of these development partners do not actually have our interest at hand. So European Union comes to Africa and talks about democracy and development while they're nurturing dictators. I believe that from now onwards, the people of Uganda in particular, and more so the people of Africa, are going to look at the European Union and European leaders with a very keen eye. So they have a lot to do in repairing the relationship between Europe and Africa, because this has particularly exposed them. It has exposed our suspicion, and we are now convinced that European Union works hand in hand with dictators, and they do support dictators to the detriment of Africa. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I noticed Milton Alimadi tweeted about the incident with the European Union, and they have since come out and said that maybe they were misquoted and they have apologized for what might have been said or what might not have been said. But again, it is very important that we are holding the international community accountable. Do not be scared, speak out, because as we are staying silent, more Ugandans are going to continue to die. So let us be a bit more aggressive and definitely more assertive. And let's, yes, please.
Yes, just to make a comment on the response from the European Union, An apology is not enough. We do not want to pretend that we have friends, but in darkness, they associate with our enemies or our tormentors. European Union should not only stop on an apology. An apology isn't enough. They need to come out and disassociate themselves with the dictator in Uganda and all other dictators in Africa. In that way, we shall take them serious. But them supporting the dictator while lying to the people that, oh, we made a mistake and we apologize, we need to see action this time. This is a new Africa, this is a new world, and everybody shall be held accountable for their action.
Thank you very much, Edward. And of course, you saw the response by the State Department in terms of what's happening in Uganda. What did you think about that?
I'll let my brother Eric go first.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. And I also saw that there was a voter in the show that wanted to share the experience. So I'm not sure if the voter is still there. For the tech guy, if he's not appearing now, then I will continue with. Yeah, so maybe it's gone. I will continue myself. Okay, yeah, not now. Perfect. And Patricia, which statement do you mean from the government?
So the State Department, as usual, they are following the situation in Uganda, and we need to be nonviolent. But we keep hearing the same thing, but no real action.
Yeah, definitely. And then it's a very good point from Edward, that there is some nice talk with the embassies, but all the main, especially in the Netherlands, or I follow the Netherlands, the main media, they were reporting about the outside-in perspective from the dictatorship. So they shared a lot of news articles from Museveni won the elections, but there are remarks about rigged elections or fraud. However, they are reporting wrong information, because Museveni is not winning or has even won the elections, just fabricated results. And we're showing it with Uvote. So they are repeating a message from the regime. It is if like the regime says it is raining, and then without checking if it really rains, they just report back that it's raining. So what's now crucial, that journalists are attracted to the inside-out perspective of the people of Uganda, and they check if it's really raining. They check if the election is really won by Museveni, because they can just go to the Uvote site and they see that it's not the case.
Perfect. And then what more can Ugandans do, in your personal opinion, in terms of exposing dictatorship and the vote rigging in Uganda?
Yeah, so be aware that journalists, they are not really on Facebook, but they are on Twitter. So go to Twitter, make an account if you don't have one, but go to Twitter, start tweeting, start using the hashtag to create awareness. So use the hashtags that have been used, count every vote UG, make it worldwide, and then journalists, they have no other option than to see it, to look, because there are some people, Helen Epstein, Robert Amsterdam, Jeffrey Smith, I think.
Yes.
And they are all on Twitter now tweeting for Uganda. But of course, we need Ugandans themselves tweeting. So I'll go to Twitter, make this hashtag trending, make them aware what's going on in Uganda, because they are still seeing the outside-in perspective from the dictatorship. So that needs to change. The narrative needs to be changed from what it currently is to what is happening in Uganda.
Definitely. And Edward, I'm curious, can unity of Ugandans and opposition play a role in the current situation?
Absolutely. There's a lot that the Ugandans in general and the opposition can play a role to ensure that they end dictatorship in Uganda. One, they have played a major role by electing Robert Kyagulanyi as the president-elect, despite the fact that the election was rigged by dictator Museveni. But so that alone has showed you that they have risen up and they have spoken loud and clear. Secondly, they need to continue pushing for reforms in Uganda by exposing all acts of dictatorship, all acts of human rights violation, and any acts that affect humanity and everything that degenerates life in Uganda in general. So they are doing it, and we encourage them to continue. Another thing that they should continue doing is by exposing some of these so-called development partners that actually nurture African dictators, just like I mentioned earlier, the European Union coming up to congratulate a dictator upon stolen election. Ugandans attacked him. I don't know if attacked is the right word or it's so strong, but they responded to his message on Twitter and he came up with an apology. But I think they should continue watching them now carefully since they have exposed themselves. I have also seen the president of Tanzania, Magufuli. He came up and congratulated the dictator upon rigged elections. And Ugandans again went head with him on Twitter, and he actually withdrew the post.
Yes.
So anyone that comes up to congratulate or deal with a dictator that rigs election, we need to stand up to them and expose them and ask them whether they do have the interest of Ugandans at hand or do they have other hidden interests. So this is a different era, this is a different generation, and I believe if we continue doing what we are doing, we are going to transform Uganda into a democratic country, and also Africa into a democratic country, because a democratic Africa will be prosperous. A prosperous Africa is good for the world. We need to stop looking at countries as competitors, and coming up with elements that, oh, if we let this country down, then our country goes up. That's not how the world works. We need to start believing that we live in an abundant world, that as Europe develops, also Africa should develop. A developed Europe is as good as a developed Africa. And Africa that is not developed is not good for Europe. So we need to change our attitude, and we need to watch our development partners with a very keen eye and carefully. Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you very much. And let us go back to unity again with Eric. Can you talk to us a little bit more about unity of opposition in Uganda?
Yes, so I want to focus on what does it have, what are the political consequences that Uvote is now showing that Bobi Wine has won the vote as president. And especially he himself, he has been promoting unity together with Dr. Besigye. Maybe we can show a small fragment of Bobi Wine preaching about the unity in the country. So
come together as one, united forces of change. Opposition come together as one, please. All of us must come together as one. All right, let me tell you. So now we say whether you are JMA, whether you are DP, whether you are NRM or you are FDC, whether you are CP, whether you PC, whether you are ANG, Banegwanga Balimalao, Abanyasinga Tabantu.
Yeah, so what you see in this message is very crucial, that it doesn't matter to which party you belong, even if you are NRM. It's now crucial to unite as one, as the people, as one nation, one Uganda, against the dictator. So one thing I would like to highlight and to illustrate is that we are now predicting that the votes will go to Bobi Wine. We saw that the estimations will make it very sure that he will win the vote. So we are now calling him the new president of Uganda. But from the same estimations, in 2016, Dr. Kizza Besigye won the vote as well, with lesser percentages, with 53%, but he won the election. But then we didn't at Uvote, we didn't at the telecenter in Amsterdam, so we were not yet prepared to give him the victory. We are now able to give Bobi Wine because we learned from the experiences from Dr. Besigye. And as he also told himself, we go to school to learn from others. We have learned a lot from Dr. Besigye and we've worked with him. He has supported Bobi Wine all along in how to raise his profile. However, it's also important to understand that, so from 2016, the legitimate president of Uganda has been Dr. Kizza Besigye. Already from 2016, it was not the usurper, the tyrant Yoweri Museveni, which is there just by his military power. It was Dr. Kizza Besigye who has been the president since 2016. So it's also very crucial, I think, that we give the respect to Dr. Kizza Besigye as the current president of Uganda until Plan B, until the despot has been removed, and then Bobi Wine becomes new president. So I think it's very crucial that at this moment, all Ugandans as one nation, they unite behind the current president of Uganda, Dr. Kizza Besigye, so they make sure the dictator is removed, and then the next voted the president of Uganda, Bobi Wine, can take place and govern a new Uganda. So I think it's very crucial for now to come together as both FDC, NUP, GMA, ANT, it doesn't matter, even NRM, come together and especially unite as one nation, because that's now the most important thing. We see all this momentum going on, but with a united front of the people against this very small minority of a dictatorship that is just using military power to stay, to remain where he doesn't belong. Because for multiple times, the people have already decided with their vote, they have shown that that Museveni is no longer a president. He is just a dictator, which is there by the military might. So I think that's a crucial thing to understand, to know, and maybe so to plan soon as opposition. I don't know, come to a place, accept that Dr. Besigye is the president, and move forward in the next months.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for those kind words. The message here is that we need to be united. We need to be positive, and we need to preach our message of positivity. Change in Uganda is going to start within. It's going to start from within us being positive and us uniting with all of our opposition parties. And Changwanyi Sentamu Robert is now the president of Uganda, and he's not just leading NUP. He's leading all opposition parties. And so thank you very much, Eric. Anything from you, Edward Abili, before we bring on Nico and Joseph?
Yes, I just want to reiterate the idea of unity among the opposition. Unity is very strong. As one wise person said, that together we stand, divided we fall. So Ugandans, let's unite together against dictatorship. Africa, let's unite together against dictatorship. And also the world. Yeah, let all countries come together. I feel very happy when I see people like Eric coming up exposing dictatorship in Africa, while he knows that there's democracy in his country. So if we can have more people like Eric come together and join Africans, and we make this world a better place, then the world will become a more lovely place and a peaceful place with harmony, where we can enjoy our difference but also live in a peaceful environment. Thank you.
Thank you, and I strongly believe that yes, we can unite as our opposition. Unity is definitely very possible, and of course, unity is strength. And so, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Patricia.
Bye.
You are watching the Vote Monitoring Program, which tracks live polling results and covers the latest election updates. Uvote Counting Stream, streaming for you live. You are watching the vote monitoring program, which tracks live polling results and covers the latest election updates. Uvote counting stream, streaming for you live.
I'm Trisha Namialo, human rights activist, Washington, D.C., and we are reporting for the National Unity Platform. Thank you very much, Ugandans, for turning up to vote in large numbers amidst the chaos and violence. We are very grateful to you as the diaspora and, of course, as the National Unity Platform. And congratulations to the people's President-elect, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, for winning the 2021 elections. We are removing a dictator.
In the 2021 Uganda general elections, 11 candidates are battling for the highest seat in office.
You are watching the vote monitoring program, which tracks live polling results and covers the latest election updates. Uvote counting stream,
Therefore,
streaming for you live.
The votes as well.
I'm Trisha Namialo, human rights activist, Washington, D.C., and we are reporting for the National Unity Platform. Thank you very much, Ugandans, for turning up to vote in large numbers amidst the chaos and violence. We are very grateful to you as the diaspora and, of course, as the National Unity Platform. And congratulations to the people's President-elect, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, for winning the 2021 elections. We are removing a dictator.
In the 2021 Uganda general elections, 11 candidates are battling for the highest seat in office. Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is presenting himself for the 6th term after 34 years in office, still as a leader of the national resistance movement. He is intent on rigging the vote again, so therefore, we are counting the votes as well. Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, also known as Bobi Wine, is presenting himself for the first time, and he is already the biggest challenger and a leader of the NUP, National Unity Platform. We are also counting for Patrick Oboy Amuriat, leader of the FDC, Forum for Democratic Change, Mugisha Muntu, leader of the ANT, Alliance for National Transformation, and Nobert Mau as a leader of the DP Democratic Party. Furthermore, we have 6 independent candidates: John Katumba, William Ayambala, Fred Mwesije, Henry Tumukunde, Nance Kalembe, and Joseph Kabuleta. Uvote is counting your votes. It's about Uganda's Choice 2021.
Hello, everyone. Let us do a quick introduction of our Tally Center and, of course, our IT experts for the Uvote app. And let me start off with the Tally Center, and that is Nava, Hadija, and Joe. I know you've been working very hard since election night to make sure you're reporting the DOR forms. And so we want to hear from you. How have things been at the Tally Center? Nava?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that question. At the Tally Center, it hasn't really been so busy for the past days, but today it has been really overwhelming. When the internet came in, people did what they were asked to do. They were asked by Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu to take pictures of the DOR forms. And the DOR forms that are coming in, it's really overwhelming. Although there were intimidations, arrested, but still people have those copies. So we're excited that we have the DOR forms, but at the same time, it's hard work. But we're holding up because we are here to remove the dictator.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Nava. And Joe, can we hear from you, please?
I would like to assure everyone that we are very busy with tallying in the details, the system. The reforms are coming in as many as possible since the internet is on now. Yeah, we hope to be hearing from you soon.
Absolutely. And Hadija,
good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yes, as always, for the past few days, we've been here at the tallying center, and it has got busier. It is crazy. It is very, very overwhelming, like Nava said. But yes, we are here to sit in, and we shall make sure we do it until to the end, because we want to prove to Ugandans that indeed they voted and they spoke. They chose Kyagulanyi Ssentamu as their president, and it's us to prove to them that they indeed voted for him. So we are going to do this all the way, and we want to thank them because this is the first time they're watching us. We want to thank them so much for participating in the election in very, very big numbers. And yes, we are going to give you what you indeed present. What you voted for is what we are going to give you.
Perfect. And Nava, have you seen any irregularities in DOR forms?
Yes, we've seen quite certain irregularities. On some DR forms, you can see that the total number doesn't reconcile with the different numbers that were attached to the different candidates. We've also seen inconsistencies with the handwritings. You could see something was changed, or different people were writing on the same DR forms, and certain DR forms could be given like 2 times, and that's not acceptable. It should be 1 DR form per polling station.
Definitely. Thank you very much. And how are you dealing with these irregularities?
We of course filling in these numbers, and it's the system, the Uvote system can detect any irregularities, and it's up to the technical team to decide with what they do with such entries.
Perfect. Thank you very much. And let's go on ahead and introduce Dr. Nico and Joseph. Dr. Nico, can you unmute?
Of course.
Perfect. Dr. Nico, you are the head of IT for People Power and the Uvote app. Can you talk to us a little bit about the Uvote app? What is the Uvote app?
The Uvote app is the app to secure the vote of the Ugandan people. The Ugandan people have seen rigging in 2011, seen rigging in 2016, and they don't want that to happen again. It is clear that the incumbent is planning to rig again. He has already announced the result without actually doing any tallying. We've just heard that lots of votes were not included. And actually his results are totally contradictory to what the people of Uganda see, and also what we see. The people, they are very confident in the app, and they have uploaded a lot of results. And the outcome of those results are totally contradictory to what the Electoral Commission is announcing.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Dr. Nico. And we have just we received a phone call from Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, who is now the president of Uganda, a little bit earlier. Let us hear that message from him.
Yes, hello, this is Nico from Uvote.
Hello?
Hello, this is Nico from Uvote.
Yes, please. Who is it? The phone is not very clear.
Okay, but I can hear you. I can tell you...
Yes, I can hear you now, please. Yeah, please speak again.
Okay. Yes, I want to congratulate you with how well you're doing in these elections. Mentally, because of all the pressure you are under, but also because of the results. Our results show that you have 74% of the votes.
Wow. 74%. Have you got all the declaration forms?
We have very many declaration of results forms, and we are processing them. I can't tell you at this moment how many we have. I can tell you that there are many irregularities, but we are going to sort them out. Don't worry about that. We are going to take care of that. And for the time being, we are now at about 10% of the votes counted. And so you have 74%, and Museveni has 23%. It's to be precise, we have counted now 9.1%, but we still have a lot of declaration of results forms to be counted. So there's a lot of hard work to do for our team, but we are on it.
Yes, please.
I'm also recording this conversation, sir.
I change the headset. Can I change the headset and call you back? Or maybe I change the headset and you call me.
Oh, yes.
It keeps breaking.
Of course, sir.
Hello,
Yes,
Dr.
that
Nico.
was great. And just let me comment, but in the meantime, we have already advanced from about 9% of the votes counted to 12% of the votes counted.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much. I want to hear a little bit more about these irregularities that you speak about. What causes that?
Yeah, so for example, yesterday, we spoke with Dr. Lina Sidriga, and then later we also spoke with other people up north. And like we were hearing Dr. Lina Sidriga say, up north it was do or die for the NRM. They knew they had a lot of rigging to do. And so we have been talking to many people up north, and what they've been telling us is that the people from the opening of the polling stations, that they have been intimidated and that agents had been chased away. Okay. We had reports that at 3 a.m. soldiers came to confiscate ballots and they dumped them in the toilet of a church. We heard of a certain civilian that went by all the polling stations to intimidate with guns, and people had to run for their lives. So it is very clear, like Dr. Lina was saying, we can now confirm that based on the other conversations that we have, that in the north there was totally not any honest election going on. And we know in Kampala things were relatively quiet, and journalists then reported, yes, things are quiet because they are in Kampala. Yes. But in the rest of the country, things were not quiet at all.
Mm-hmm. And Joseph, did the app receive any DOR forms during the time that the electricity was cut off?
Thanks, Patricia, and good to see you, Dr. Nico. And thanks for Ugandans that are watching us live. We're grateful that there is internet coverage in several parts and those that are live. To answer your question, the Uvote app was made with two functionalities. One, we knew that the government would switch off the internet, and so we created a functionality where people are able to submit SMS results. So if the internet was off, they can still submit results by SMS, but the DR forms are stored offline, which means that the Uvote app received the SMS messages, but they didn't have the DR form. Our percentage so far has been really low because we have results with no confirmatory DR form. We want to give facts. We want to count every vote. Yes. For every Ugandan who casted a vote, your vote will be counted, and we shall come to a conclusion of the true percentage of the winner. And so far as we've seen, President Kyagulanyi as the elect right now, people are voted massively, and we're still counting. As Dr. Nick has reported, we've counted so far 12%. So the DR forms, we received a few of them during the time that the electricity or internet was shut down. Right now that the internet is back on, our system has received massive DR forms from different regions, both the West, Central, Eastern, North. We've received DR forms from all corners. As the DR forms come in, as we said, we're noticing irregularities and we are dealing with them accordingly because we want to give accuracy in our reporting. And so we have more DR forms, and we want to thank all Ugandans that have been able to gather these DR forms, that were able to take screenshots, take videos at the 14th of January when they casted the vote. And so we had a few before. We have more than we can right now count, and our team is working hard to sort them through, and we will be giving an updated percentage as we continue to tally up the polling stations. That's the report I have so far.
Perfect, and we will display a number for you on the screen that where you can submit some of these forms when you have more than one. And so we are now going to move on to presenting the results for the 2021 election that clearly show that Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert won the election with Joseph and Nico.
Thanks again, Patricia. So as I will share my screen. So as we do see, we do have several districts right now with the actual tallying that we've confirmed so far on the percentages. I'm just going to randomly go through a few districts. As we see Buyukwe here, the president-elect, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, has got 71.48%, and the vote count is 30,000 right there, as you see. We can see Iganga in the eastern region has 67.8%. Busia also, he has 60.56%. You can see Museveni, he's scoring pretty much half of what Honorable Kyagulanyi was scoring in these districts. Further, we can go to Jinja. Jinja has 63.32%. That's for President-elect Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. And we have President Museveni, formerly, as 33.19%. We'll go down. Actually, I skipped. So Jinja City also, there you can see almost the same percentage in 60s, 67.77%. And we can see President Museveni on 28.1%. And we can go further and step through different districts. Kampala, President-elect Kyagulanyi has there 76.23%. President Museveni has 20.79%. And there are more as we continue. We invite people to access this data. They can go through because there are several districts. We will be just stepping through a few districts as we move forward. And I would like to go back and just give the same report in Uganda. So Ebuyukwe district, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu alina obululu 7 n'obutundutundu 4 we can see tulaba President Museveni yafunyewo obululu 26. These are mu percentage. Bwe tugenda Iganga, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu alina 67 n'obutundutundu 85 mu percentage. President Museveni yafunyewo 28 n'obutundutundu 98 mu percentage. Bwe tukirira Jinja, Kyagulanyi Ssentamu yafunye 63 n'obutundutundu 34 mu percentage. President Museveni yafunye 33 n'obutundutundu 19 mu percentage. Jinja City nayo mulaba 67 Kyagulanyi Ssentamu n'obutundutundu 77 mu percentage. President Museveni 28 n'obutundutundu 19 mu percentage. Eno Kalangala Kyagulanyi Center mu percentage ayina 84 n'obutuntundu kamu, and then President Museveni yafunye 14 n'obutuntundu 73 mu percentage. Districts zeeyongerayo nyingi nnyo nga mumanyi. The total districts ze tulina e Uganda currently ziri 147. Twagala obbaaniriza abasobola mujje ku site eno, ku website, mwongere okulaba results zino muzeetegereze nga bwe twongera okubala obululu obwavudde buli mu district. Naye nga for saawa zino zino district ze tuli kusobola okubawaako percentage wise. President elect Kyagulanyi Ssentamu yakoze atya ne President Museveni. Ne bali ba candidate abalala musobola okulaba Amuriat and all of them ogenda wansi bakoze batya mu different districts mu percentage so far ze tulina. So yeah, that's the reporting. Once again, just translated in Luganda, and we want to thank Ugandans once again, and I want to invite them that are able, that have internet coverage right now, to check out these percentages that we are tallying up. As we said earlier, we have pretty much almost 12%. These numbers will continually go up as we count every polling station, because we have received pretty much a lot of DR forms. And once again, a big thanks to all Ugandans that were able and continue to strive to submit these DR forms from different polling stations. We want to thank you, and we'll do our very best to make sure that we provide the tallying accuracy that you need to see in this coming election. So our promise is every vote will be counted.
Perfect. And the hashtag we're using is count every vote UG. Count every vote UG. And we will display again a phone number for you to send those DOR forms for those that do not have the Uvote app, but we are also encouraging you to download the Uvote app, and we'll also display the website for you to go and view these results in a way where you can clearly see them. These results are accessible for every single Ugandan.
You are watching the Vote Monitoring Program, which tracks live polling results and covers the latest election updates. Uvote Counting Stream, streaming for you live.
I cannot know where they drove to, but they really drove for a long time, maybe an hour or so. At a certain point, they stopped, pulled me out of the car, and led me to somewhere I cannot know. There they were really beating me seriously and asking me what I have to discuss with Bobi Wine every time we talk on phone. I told them I don't usually talk to Bobi Wine unless he's calling me that we go and for events or campaigns. And I told them my accreditation was refused, was denied, so I could not film Bobi Wine anymore. But they insisted and said, even today, meaning yesterday, you have been talking to Bobi Wine and the wife. At that point, one of the gentlemen said he's not going to talk. That is when they put something on my arm that felt like I had been connected to electricity. My whole entire body was shocked for some time, and from that time when I try to hold something, my whole entire body keeps shaking.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are. 3 days after the announcement of Uganda presidential election results, I take this opportunity to denounce the amount of human rights abuses that have been committed before, during, and after the elections. Abduction of political opposition members, illegal detention, torture, and killings by the security forces in Uganda has been observed. Considering the excessive force and measure used by the Uganda government towards opposition parties, as well as other measures like the internet shutdown and refusing permits to independent observers, together with other evidence of election fraud, it is convenient to say that the elections are far from being fair. My team at Task International has gathered information from more than 350 Ugandans in different parts of Uganda about human rights abuses during the elections period, and the level at which the government took it, it was very alarming. For that reason, and for a better Uganda, Task International is calling for not recognizing the results of the elections until an independent investigation into the fraud allegations is conducted. We ask the US government to pause the monetary and military aid to the government of Uganda until the election results are investigated and clear. We requested the US State Department and the Treasury Department to investigate the human rights abuses committed during the election period and consider visa and financial sanctions to the Uganda Police Force, UPDF, SFC, CMI leadership who were involved in the human rights abuses. Also, we call for the internet service providers in Uganda to be investigated in their conspiracy to help the Ugandan government to conceal the human rights abuses and silence Ugandans during the elections. I will end my call to action by Martin Luther King quote as we celebrate his birthday and his work today. He said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy." To the